If you are tuning in, we will be starting soon. You may have heard my son's moos in the background. Drop a greeting in the comments. Let me know you're here. Once we're all in, settled with our paper, our pencils, and everything we need, we will get started. Hi, I see our first viewer popping in. Welcome. We'll be starting soon. Grab your character sheets. Grab your pencils, your papers, your dice, whatever you need for your quest today. You can check out the comments for PDFs coming soon, resources to help you in your quest. Stay tuned and we'll start in 3. Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to week 2, episode 8 of Into the Dungeonverse, with me, again, your host and guide, Mr. Adam. This is brought to you by NewMinds.tv and New Minds Enrichment, the home of real inspired learning, where we turn our passions into our talents. Thank you all for joining us today. We will be starting our adventure soon. Please make sure you have all of the supplies that you could possibly need, like your paper, your pencils, your character sheets, and dice, coins to toss, anything like that. Go ahead and grab those. Make sure you have them ready and available. Looking forward to starting our quest here soon. We will cover the rules as always, but I wanted to hop in and say hi to you here in person. I'm glad to be able to be back in video. It felt a little strange and kind of like a vacuum yesterday when I was up with just the images and just my audio. So no disembodied voice today. I'll be hopping down into the corner here in just a second. All right, here we are. I'm down here in the corner now. Welcome back to Into the Dungeonverse. We're going to cover the rules very quickly, make sure that we're all up to speed. If you're just hopping in, that's okay. You can make a character that starts your quest here, but make sure to hop back to some of the earlier episodes so that way you can figure out what your character did before this. All right, we're excited to see what your stories are. We're all sharing a story, but it's going to be different. I see some of my good friends are back. Hi, Walter. Hi, Rishi. Hi, Kristen. Thank you for hopping in. Welcome. We're just getting ready to start. So if you are using a randomization table, here's that sample. Here's that sample for you once more. You can draw this out on a piece of paper. You can even print off the PDF and use that if you want to. This is a good way to randomize what happens. Sometimes I might have you throw multiple things on it, but you'll try to roll without looking, and whatever it lands on is going to be the result. Okay, you can also toss coins. You can also use regular six-sided die like you might find in Sorry or Yahtzee or any of the board games that you might have at your house. And if you do happen to have RPG dice, of course you can use those. Remember, this is a story that I tell, but you're going to help be your own game runner here at home. You are going to be kind of making sure that things are fair and making sure that there is a challenge for yourself. I'll be offering a guide here, but a little bit of it will be on you. But that's okay. We're all growing storytellers here. So I wanted to show again a sample of our character sheet. This is a blank template version. You're going to want to have a name up in the top left. You're going to want to have your hit points because this is how many times your character can get hurt. How much damage they can take before they are unconscious or knocked out. And then you're going to want to keep a record of what you do. What is the result of your actions? What stories did you fall into? Alright, so make sure that you do keep track of that there on your character sheet. I have a sample up of Gorby from last week if you followed Gorby's story. I have a request for my Smeagol accent. You know what? How about this? If I get 5 engagements, so like 5 likes, we'll do a Smeagol accent. I'll probably end up doing it anyway, but... So there's Gorby really quickly. And then we have Exampool. This was a character that I took through the first session to see what happened. So this is a small sample. Obviously, I summarized a lot in mine because I wanted it to be large enough for you to see. But you're going to write yours out more because I'm sure that there's more happening in your story than what I'm telling. Because I'm only telling a little bit. You're filling in everything else. What else is happening in that story? And then finally, this is also a PDF that is available to you. You can print off this character sheet. You can use that as a template, or you can just take that. Well, I've got three engagements. If we get up to 5, then we'll do the Smeagol accent right away. So there's a character sheet template to look at. All right, now this is not the most important thing in the world that you follow all of these things exactly as they are. I want you to focus more on the play, focus on the story, focus on enjoying the narrative that we are sharing here today. All right, if you were here with us last time, let's do a little bit of a recap. You wandered through the forest after exiting a cave and encountered some different things depending on the path that you chose. But as you arrived toward a town, you saw that it was being attacked. A giant was moving through the town laden with goods that it had stolen from the town's storage. It had cows slung across its back, pigs strapped to its waist, and bags of grain. You saw this on your way in. You also saw on the other side of town the militia was preparing to combat this, but the giant had craftily knocked down a tower directly in their path. As it stands, the giant is going to escape with what looks like all of the food they might need for winter. You have an opportunity here, adventurer. You can try to step up and fight the giant. Maybe you're going to hide. Maybe you're going to let it pass you by. Or maybe you're going to help. Maybe there's a way for you to unblock the malicious path. Maybe you're a spellcaster and you're going to make a bridge of ice. Or maybe you're going to try to break through using fire or air. Gotta throw in earth there so we have the full Avatar: The Last Airbender reference. What are you going to do? I'm going to give you a moment to choose. Do you fight? Do you help? Do you hide? The giant is large and ferocious looking. The militia look like they could help, but only if they can get there. Maybe hiding is the best choice. What can you do against a giant, really? Your hit points might be low. Since you have made it through the forest, I will give everyone 5 bonus hit points at this point. So if you are at 1 hit point, you now have 6 hit points. Whatever you are at, you now have 5 more. Your character feels invigorated after going through your journey in the forest. Alright, I'm going to give you just a little bit longer to decide, not much longer, what your action is, and then we are going to walk through what the results are of each. Alright. Do you fight? Do you hide? Or do you help? Get your coins ready, get your dice ready, because there will be some rolling, especially if you're going to fight or unblock the malicious path. Someone has 20 out of 20. So if you have 20 out of 20, you don't go up. If you are already at full hit points, you don't go any higher than that. All right, let's move on. You can see in the picture that I have over here for fight, I have Thor. All right, Thor fought giants in Ragnarok. Are you going to be like Thor and fight giants? Now, to answer that health question, you do not go above 20 hit points. All right, now I am seeing that you're going to have a little bit of trouble looking at that last part. So give me a second. I'm going to move my face over to the other side. All right. So take a look. If you are battling the giant, this is a very hard battle. This is not something that is going to go smoothly or easily for you. We're going to do this in rounds. You have a chance to hit the giant, and the giant is going to hit you back. To hit the giant, you have to get 6 heads in a row. On a standard die, you have to roll 10, and you get to roll twice. So you get to roll 2 d6s, or 6-sided die, and you have to get above 10 to hit it. If you're using a d20, you need to get a 19. And if you're on the tables, you're going to toss 3 separate things and take the worst of those things. You have to hit the giant 3 times. You have to hit the giant 3 times to get him to be unconscious or to surrender, have him surrender. And for every time you try to hit him, the giant will hit you for 5 damage. 5 damage / 1 militiaman for each round. So if the militia join you, 1 militiaman will be taken out each round that you are hit for 5 damage. You have 3 rounds until the militia helps. Alright, let's roll for it. What happens? Do you defeat the giant? Does the giant knock you unconscious? If it hits you 4 times and you're at full health, you're out. You will be knocked out, and I will tell you where you will start next. So do your rolls. Do you succeed? Do you defeat the giant? Alright, I think that's enough time for you to have rolled at least a little bit. Let's hop back, and while you're rolling your fight, let's take a look at our other option. If you are helping, if you're choosing to help, what's your idea? What are you doing? The better your idea, the easier this is. The highest the difficulty will go for helping is a medium difficulty, meaning that you will need to get 4 heads in a row, or a 6 with 2 rolls on a d6, or a 12 with 1 roll on the d20. You may roll twice on your table, or sorry, you will roll once on your table to see if you helped the militia get there. If you succeeded in helping the militia get there, they will get there earlier, and they will hit the giant once around with you, if you choose to fight after helping them. And finally, if you hide, the giant will pass you by with no issue. It might even look at you, but if you're hiding and not trying to intervene, it'll pass you by. The militia will get there after it is long gone. Alright, fighters, let's go back and see the results for your combat. Did you succeed? If you win against the giant, which means that you hit it 3 times without being knocked unconscious, you are going to save all of the town's supplies, and the militia will capture the giant, tying him up and taking him to the stockades. that they are freshly building for him. It's got to be very large. If you lose, if you are defeated by the giant, you are knocked unconscious, but for each time he was hit, he dropped 4 months of supplies. So even if you only hit him once, you did get some supplies back for the town. If you hit him twice, you got a lot back. If you hit him 3 times, you got them all back. And if you defeated the giant, there you are, perhaps an image of you sitting atop the giant. Now, if you were knocked unconscious, you are going to awaken inside of a hut. This is the healer's home. If you participated in the battle, they are going to heal you all the way up to full health. So even if you were knocked unconscious and got to 0, you're going to be all the way back up to full health. If you helped in the battle but didn't fight, they will give you half of your health back, meaning you'll go up by 10. And if you didn't help at all and only hid, they're going to ask you for 10 gold to get full health. I will tell you, or rather the village elder will tell you in a moment, how you can earn some gold here in this town. If you succeeded in the battle, you will be approached by the village elder directly afterwards, and you will come to the healer's home later. Now, if you are not ready for the healer's home now, you can always return here knowing that it costs 10 gold to get back up to full health. So let us move on. Make sure that you fill out your character sheet. What happened? How did you tackle the battle with the giant? Did you battle the giant? Did you hide and let it pass you by? Did you help the militia get there? What was your choice? Make sure to record. We have someone who won against the giant. Then you will like what happens next, I'm sure. The town elder approaches you. If you assisted in the battle, they will praise you very, very excitedly. Thank you so much, brave hero, for intervening. We thought surely all supplies for the winter were lost, but you came out of nowhere. Where are you from? You are a sleeper. From the cave? No, I cannot tell you anything about what a sleeper is. I know only what is told in legends. That you come in times of need, or perhaps that you are the one that causes it. There are many, many myths surrounding your kind of people. I suggest that you see the wise woman. The wise woman knows much about the sleepers. Said that she worked with one in the past, many, many years ago. You will know her by her distinct appearance, and she has an avian friend. Yes, one with wings. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for your assistance. Please, let us reward you. No, I cannot let you leave empty-handed. So if you fought and won, you are going to get 30 gold. Let me move my screen for you. You're going to get 30 gold if you fought and won. If you fought and fell, so even if you were wounded, but you still participated, they're going to give you 15 gold pieces. If you hid, they are going to give you nothing but a sad welcome. The town elder will see you and say, I am sorry you had to come to our town in such a terrible time. Please, the market square should be going again soon. Any goods you bring will obviously be needed. I do apologize for such a rude welcoming to our town. It's not normally like this. If only the militia could have gotten here in time. Please, head into the town. If you need work, and this is for anyone, whether you fought the giant or not, if you need work, we do have opportunities for employment here in town. Let me show you those, or tell you about them. You could go to the quarry. Yes, the quarry. It's not easy work. You could go to the quarry. The quarry will allow you to use your physical skills to break some rocks and earn some money. It's a good opportunity. And then we also have the mill. It's a little bit more skilled and easy work, but you could go there. So if you want a chance to earn a little bit of gold, because there will be a chance to shop and to buy items here in a moment, you can do this now. You have to get 1 head to have a successful attempt in the quarry. So flip a coin and head, but you only get 2 successful attempts, or you only get 2 attempts. You get 10 gold per successful attempt, but even if you fail every one, you will at least walk out with 5 gold. Minium. That's a real word, I promise. Alright, so if you're at the quarry, go ahead and roll for that. You can go to one of these 2, and then you can also go to the mill. At the mill, you get 3 attempts, same thing, you have to get ahead on your coin toss. Or if you're doing a D6, you need to get a 2 or a 3. If you're doing a D20, you need to get an 8. Or if you're rolling on your table, you get to roll twice and take the better of the 2 options. So you may also work at the mill. 5 gold per successful attempt, 3 attempts possible, and of course a 5 gold minium. That's the fantasy word for minimum in this town. Totally proper common. Alright, after you spend some time working, or if you were awarded gold and you choose to not work, you can go on into the town square, the market square, where things are just starting to get back into order. Generally, people were obviously a little startled by the giant coming in and destroying things, but this town seems to be resilient. They're all setting up shop again, and they're pushing things that have been destroyed off to the side, and they are beginning to move around again. You are entering way over on the right side. You might have a chance to spot something here in a moment. Let's see. As you walk, you might have a chance to spot something. I want you to roll. This is an easy one. So just a single successful coin toss. A 2 or a 3 on a D6 or a standard die. An 8 or a 9 on a D20. And then you get to roll twice on your table and take the better of the 2. This is easier. So if you succeed in spotting this thing, I'll give you a moment to make your rolls before I continue on. If you succeed in spotting this thing, you'll have an option to interact with it. This is right outside the entrance to the market square. And let me move my screen again. Oh, sorry. Here we go, moving my screen for you so you can see. Up against a tree, out of sight, kind of in a park or garden area, you see weapons of knightly quality, a sword and a shield resting against the tree. You can tell that these are probably some of the nicest weapons that you have seen. Though you get this strange feeling as you're walking through town that this is not the kind of architecture that you remember. Though it looks similar, and though the craftsmanship of the sword looks similar, it all looks a little bit different, a little bit new. Do you take the weapon? Do you take the shield? They might fetch a good price at the market. What do you choose? Taking it with you, or leaving it where it lay? Perhaps you could find the person it belongs to. Surely this is not just left out by chance. Decide what you do. And then we will move on to the smithy. You could go to these shops in whatever order you want, especially if you're playing back. But now that you have some money, and now that you're here in town, it might be wise to stop by the smithy. And if you took the sword and shield, you know that the smithy would very likely purchase those from you, if you were to choose to do that. When you get to the smithy, you will have choices on what you can use. Oh, I'm just popping all over the screen today. That's okay, though. Will keep me moving around. Where's Mr. Adam gonna be? Where is he on the screen? Is he in the corner? So at the blacksmith shop, of course, you can sell items that you have. If you got a magical weapon from the troll, maybe you want to sell that. You'll probably want to keep it. But you can also buy things from him. So if you earned gold while working, or if you earned gold as a reward for assisting in the town, you can purchase weapons here. Those +1s, +2s, and +3s will be different depending on what role or rule system you're using. If you're using dice, you'll add those directly to your rolls. If you're using the table, maybe that means you get an extra roll on your table. If you're doing a coin toss, maybe that's how many times you get to reflip your coin if you fail. It's up to you how you do it. If you have questions, of course, you can always reach out. Do you buy anything here? He greets you as soon as you walk in.
Welcome, welcome to me shop. I've got plenty of goods. I've got armor, I've got weapons, I've got all sorts of adventuring gear that you would expect. You do have gold, right? Okay, I'm just checking, no offense meant, but I have had people try to use me for charity. And though I am a nice person, I am not a charitable individual. Please, any questions about my gear, ask my attendant. I'll be working in the back.
And the dwarf will kind of huff, snort, and move to the back. You'll see his attendant, a younger dwarf with a beard that is like a fourth of the size. This dwarf, the blacksmith, has a beard very, very long. And it's like nestled into his belt in a couple of points. You can sell items here if you would like. If you're selling the sword and shield that you just found, you'll be able to sell those for,
these are mighty fine, mighty fine. I could buy those for 20 gold pieces. Well, tell me, where did you come about these? You don't use them anymore?
He will be curious about where you got them because of how fine the quality is, but he does not recognize them when he takes them. So you may sell those items to him. All right, but there are more shops here. Let's see what other shops might be around. Perhaps you want to get some clothing. Perhaps you want to look a little more stylish. You'll need to go to the tailor that's across the market square. But you have to pass by the food area first. When you're in the food area, this is a place where merchants are selling food, of course, but it's also a place where tables are set up so anyone can eat if they would like to. And you hear a squire kind of complaining to anyone who will listen around him. And you hear him say, oh no, I'm going to take my hide for this. Someone questions what he's talking about. Oh, I was taking my master's sword and shield out for a polish, and then, well, I saw a very pretty squirrel, and I followed it, and I just set them down for a moment, and I can't remember where I put them. Oh, I'm going to lose my position. I've looked around. I went back. I thought I knew where they were, but I can't find them. If you took the sword and shield and you did not sell them, you may approach the squire and change his day. You may give him the sword and shield and tell them where you found it. If you do so, they will be absolutely grateful. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. You don't know what this means to me. So Edric is my name. Well, sorry, not sir. I've been trying it on. Edric is my name. I'm a squire. I hope to become a knight one day. What is your name? I will remember it. If ever you need a favor, please come to me. I will always be here to help someone who has helped me so greatly. Can you take this? It's all I have as a reward. And he will hand you a simple dagger. It looks like it is very well made, and it has seen its service maybe both as a tool and as a weapon. If you sold the sword earlier, you could go and tell the squire where it is. You could confess. You could even go back to the blacksmith and tell him what happened. If you choose to do so, go back to the blacksmith, that is. The blacksmith will be grumpy, but will oblige, not wanting to take stolen goods. And he will return them to the squire, though he'll give you a sour look, as if maybe he is upset, thinking that you knew where you got those from. So choose what you do with your squire, with the squire. Do you give him the weapons back? Do you tell him where they are? or do you continue on? You head towards the tailor, which is in that castle over there. Not that castle, but that kind of large stone structure. The tailor is where you will get any clothes that you would like. And this will change your appearance, make you look nicer, make you look more presentable when you approach. There we go, I'm hopping around again. Clothing that might be available to you are like tunics, cloaks, capes, surcoats, tabards. You can Google images of these. There are people today that make awesome cosplay of these, but you can also look up authentic works. The tailor will welcome you. Welcome to my shop. Oh, you're here for a fitting? Let us launder those clothes for you. No, it's on the house. It's on the house. And as you step into the tailor, you get the same feeling that you did when you were at the blacksmith shop and as you've been walking through town. Everything looks similar to what you knew, but just ever so slightly different. As if it's evolved, as if it's grown. The blacksmith even pointed out some older weapons to you that you thought were current. The tailor does the exact same thing. And if you're interested in vintage clothing, we do have these here. Looks like something that you might have had in your wardrobe. Your head hurts a little bit as you ponder. But then you shake back as the tailor is waiting for your answer. So shall we fit you for clothing today, or will you be taking off the rack? Please, make yourself at home. So if you are interested in getting your clothes fitted, the tailor will measure you and will have your clothing ready by the end of the day. The pricing is as you see above. Simple clothing is going to be made out of very common materials like wool. Professional clothing is going to be a little bit sleeker in appearance, still sturdy, and masterwork clothing is going to be things like made out of silk. Very, very fine resources. Do you buy anything here at the tailor? Oh man, we are so close to a Smeagol drop. We've got 4 likes or comments or engagements. If we get 5, I said I would drop my Smeagol accent for us by request of a fan. So if you're out there and you want to hear my Smeagol, drop a like. Alright, let me move something for us. So you can see. After you step out of the tailor's shop, you see a shape moving through the town. One that seems very similar to the description the townsman gave you, the town elder. He said, a woman wearing strange clothing. She was very old and she had an avian friend. You thought you saw feathers slipping into an alley, sitting atop a shoulder. You're compelled to follow. You need answers. Ooh, the things you've been seeing in town unsettle you. The feelings you have make you nervous. Let's see. Can you catch her? Can you find her? As you pursue the shape, you see her moving down an alley. You see her cross just out of view. A thief strikes. Perhaps you feel their hand slipping into your purse. Perhaps you feel the slice as they cut it and let the gold fall into their hands. The difficulty is medium here. You need to get 3 successful tosses on your coin. Standard die roll is going to, you roll twice, it's got to be higher than 7, and a d20 you got to get a 14. Do you succeed in stopping the thief from taking your items? I'll give you a moment to roll and figure it out. If you succeed, you are able to stop the thief, of course, and they will scamper away into another dark alley. If you fail, you are going to lose half of your gold. That is the absolute penalty. So if you were to get 2 successes and 1 failure, or something like that, then you might lose only part of half. So maybe you only lose a quarter. Maybe you only lose an eighth of your gold. It's kind of up for you to determine what the difficulty is, or what the penalty is there based off of your partial success. So go ahead and roll. Did you lose any gold with the thief? Or did you keep all of your belongings, allowing them to scamper into the wood, or not into the woods, into an alley empty-handed? Alright, make sure to fill out your character sheets. If you haven't, what happened with the thief? Did they take your belongings? Were you left with nothing? And then you will continue on. You follow the shape out of town. And at the edge of town, you finally see her. You see the wise woman. And she is standing next to a small, simple, like stone fireplace where it looks like she might cook her food or store her materials. And you see her waiting there. That's her on the left. She's an old wizened elf. She has a gnarled staff and an owl resting on her shoulder. She just looks at you as you approach. Maybe you walk up slowly. Maybe you walk up urgently. You're ready to get answers. She will sit on a stump and gesture for you to do the same. Welcome, sleeper. It is good to see you, to see another of your kind. Please, have a seat. I'm sure you have many questions about what is happening, about what is going on. She will offer you a simple bowl of soup. It's not super good, but it's food. Tell me, did you wake recently? Ah, then you will be one to help us through this crisis. Tell me, what do you know of sleepers? What have you heard? Nothing, truly. Ah. Well, sleepers are individuals that... It looks like my stream may have just left. Alright, so if you can still hear me, we are having some technical difficulties. Give me just a moment. We will get right back up to conclude our story for today. Alright, it appears that our technical difficulties have passed. Sorry, our stream did go out for just a moment there. Hopping right back into it, in case anyone cut out, you are speaking to the wise woman and she is telling you what a sleeper is. See, there are these large and ferocious monsters that live in our world, and they awaken every so often. When they do, there are heroes that come. Heroes that are maintained in a cave somewhere on this island. Oh, sorry, you don't know what that means yet, but I will teach you and I will show you soon. You see, sleepers are the heroes that are meant to be. They're the heroes that come only in great times of need. I once traveled with a sleeper, a long time ago. Yes, when I was much younger than I am now. A hero he was, and a very good friend. He saved us. Oh. Where is he now? He is sleeping. Of course. It is the fate of all sleepers. They sleep for years and years and years, well beyond their times. And they come when they are needed. Yes, whatever time you came from is long past. This is the future for you. You have been asleep for who knows how long. It would take the history books to figure it out. But you still have much to learn of this world. You have much to learn about the place in which we live. Take a stroll with me, please. I have things to show you. Things that are very important. She leads you into the woods. The trees are tall. The wood is silent. The wise woman moves quickly, quicker than you think she should be able to move. She flits between the trees and you have trouble following her. Yet, you do not lose her all along the way. You move further and further out from the town, until eventually you arrive at a wall, a stone wall made of differently sized rocks pieced together by mortar. And standing in the center of it all is a large wooden gate. The wise woman places her hand on the door and turns and looks at you. Are you prepared for the truth? Are you prepared to know what lies beyond this wall? What this world is? You are unsure whether you are prepared or not, but it's not as if she's truly asking you this question. Her hand moves on the knob, shifting, and you can hear the gears tumble, and the door clicks. What you see beyond this gate is our truth. What you see is where we are as well. This is a world unlike any that you may have imagined. Prepare yourself. And you see, as the door opens, an island of rock floating in the sky. A building atop it, gears shifting and groaning. And as you step out into the edge, you look down and you see air for hundreds and hundreds of feet, perhaps miles. You are floating far, far above the ground. This, she says, behind you, putting a hand on your shoulder, is the Dungeonverse. This is the place where we are stuck. We were brought into this world, and we have to figure out how to escape. But first, she looks you straight in the eyes. We must survive. And to do that, we are going to need you, and we are going to need others like you. We will end our session there, as you stand on the edge, as you wonder what this world is and what your place in it may be. You look out and wonder. Thank you for joining us today. This concludes our story for today. Make sure to fill out your character sheet, record what happened, and prepare yourself for the journey that comes. You will be traveling into a whole new world. The Dungeonverse is a dangerous place. The Tower is always watching. You will find out what all of this means and more in the coming episodes. Thank you all for being here today. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes episode 8 of week 2 of Into the Dungeonverse. This is the 3rd episode of our interactive quest series. Tell me what you think. Do you like it? Are you traveling along at home? What rules have you created to add to your story? This is all an evolving process, an evolving program. I hope you enjoyed the technical changes that we made today with the music being thrown in and my video still being up here. It is great to be here and to do this. I love sharing stories. This has been my passion for as long as I can remember, even way back on the on the playground, as my friends would run away from me as I tried to tell them stories that I had come up with. Alright, so I'm going to look at the comments and the likes one last time. I don't see 5 likes, but you hung in here the whole time. I will give you a little bit of a Smeagol impression. And a fun fact, in 7th grade I auditioned for a play, and I used the scene from The Two Towers where Smeagol is arguing with Gollum. And that got me the lead in that play, actually. So while I didn't really get to do a lot of social things in 6th grade, I spent a lot of time working on my Smeagol accent, so it paid off. All right.
Naughty little hobbits, not giving us likes when we ask for them. Smeagol only wants a thumbs up. He only wants a laughing face. He only wants a wow. But no, you keep them all for yourself and for Mr. Dorian. Barnum, what did Mr. Dorian ever do for you? Nothing.
Okay. There's my Smeagol impression for you. I'm sure it'll come out more, and you don't work on it for a whole year and longer and then never use it. So that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. As always, I appreciate you being here. Thank you for tuning in for some real inspired learning, and remember to always pursue your passion until it becomes your talent. This was brought to you by New Minds Enrichment and NewMinds.tv. This was Into the Dungeonverse. I hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Next up is Mr. Walter with Around the World.